ATARASHII GAKKO. What are we doing here? We are doing a reaction to the new song One Heart by ATARASHII GAKKO. But okay, if you know this channel, you're probably wondering, why are you doing this, Howard? Because you haven't seen any ATARASHII GAKKO reactions on this channel for a while. In fact, on any of my channels, haven't done so many ATARASHII GAKKO videos recently. And this is where I'm going to get into the interesting bit, especially if you are an ATARASHII GAKKO fan watching this. So I'm going to say this is a little bit different from most of the reactions you might see online. Because, you know, actually, I really liked ATARASHII GAKKO when I first heard them. Songs like 999, really got into them, really enjoyed it. But I have to admit, over time, I kind of started enjoying what I was hearing less. It started going in the direction which wasn't so much for me, and it's fine, everyone's got their own taste, but I must admit it seemed that they'd really hit their stride fame-wise with music that it went from something I really liked to something that, I gotta be honest, I wasn't really enjoying. But still, every time a new single came out, I would set up the computer, I would plug in the microphone, I would sit down, I would listen just like I'm doing now. I'd start doing a reaction, and if it was kind of clear that it was like, I'm just not enjoying this, I would cut it off. And I would just listen to the song, give my opinion on Discord maybe, and leave it at that. So, I'm back doing this again. If you're seeing this, then clearly something went right. But the truth is that like right before recording this, right before picking this up, I had been told by a couple of people in my Discord who are ATARASHII GAKKO fans who are like, Howard, we think this is more back to what you liked about ATARASHII GAKKO. This is more the sort of thing that infused you when you first heard them. You know, back in the days of things like, you know, 999 is always the one that sticks in my head, if I'm honest with you. But around about the time they were doing videos where they were teaching you how to use the Japanese JR railway system and stuff like that. You know, around about that sort of time when the music, well, I might as well say why I went off them, where the music was more about kind of like cool flows, you know, nice fun ideas. There was actually some music in the music, unlike some of the singles that I wasn't so keen on. Howard, stick on the positive, stick on the positive. And where the music was more about having like, yeah, really cool flows than just shouting chants. So, I have been told this is more of the ATARASHII GAKKO I like. And another reason why I would come back to this is because, to be honest, I don't think it's actually 100% fair, because I was judging it a lot based on the singles. I wasn't really diving into the albums. Because let's face it, if the singles aren't grabbing you, you don't expect a single to be like the most complex thing from an artist at any particular time in their career. But if a single's not grabbing you, then, especially if they're kind of pushing you away, then you're going to be less inclined to dive into the rest of the stuff. But I had actually noticed from ADOL, the Adol's like first album I was, you know, really into, and then as time went on, it's not like I disliked it, it's just like I was less enthused by her stuff. But then as I listened to so many albums, it's like, yeah, there's actually some really good songs on here that I was missing. So there's a part of me which is thinking, hey, I just want to dive into these artists who maybe I liked before, and maybe something's put me off as time's gone on. Dive into them, especially, you know, ATARASHII GAKKO, Adol, you know, YOASOBI, YOASOBI I love. But those three artists have really been breaking out overseas as well. So anyway, let's jump into this. Give ATARASHII GAKKO a chance. And like I say, if you're watching this, something clearly went right. But as always, we're going to be honest on this channel. You know, I know there's some really great reaction channels out there, but I also know there's a lot of reaction channels out there who just tell you everything's great. I am here to give my honest thoughts on this. I do the reactions, but at heart, I'm a reviewer. That's what most of my channels are based on, reviewing, going in depth. So I'm going to give you my honest thoughts on this. I've been rambling for almost 4 minutes. Let's get into this. Again, if you're watching this, it means it went well. Otherwise, I'm about to be pausing the video. Oh, I'm loving that piano. This rhythm, straight off. This is not the sort of rhythm you get in much of these days from ATARASHII GAKKO. Nice little breakdown. Okay, we've got the build up. Are we going to get a good chorus to pay it off though? That's just nice. That's just nice. It's kind of doing what a single should do and being fun. Well, accessible. Are we on Windows XP? Ooh, key change. More of a chord change. I love the way they're passing the vocals around here. I'm not even going to ask what was going on there. The horror movie vibe there. Yeah, it's got this like old school kind of, I wish I could think of what the name is, but kind of like almost like a show tune kind of vibe to it. But it's enthusiastic, but in like a really natural way, you know? Obviously it's hammed up, but it's hammed up and it feels genuinely fun. The biggest thing I'm getting from this is the vibe. And that little rhythm change in the second half of the chorus. A nice little sing-along bit there. It's burned through 4 minutes quite nice and quickly as well. You know, it's got a good brisk pace to it. Yeah, that's nice. That's just nice, you know? Alright, so there's like 1,000,001 things to break down here. I just like, okay. That's not yakimo. Oh no, it's ramen. Okay. We're gonna get a yakimo moment there. So it looks like the little thing they push around for that. Anyway, that's not what, let's get a nice frame. That's a nice frame. Let's put that up. Alright, so honest thoughts about this. And by the way, thank you if you're watching this, because obviously after I gave that whole intro, if you're watching this, then clearly you're an open-minded person who likes to sort of talk about opinions and likes to hear the opinions of people who might not necessarily always agree with you. So that's really cool. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for being here. My honest thoughts on this. Yeah, see, what I really liked about this, first of all, yeah, the vibe. Now, I'm going to get perhaps the obvious thing out of the way first of all and say, yeah, I'm aware that this song is not like, I'm not making out this song is doing some incredible thing that ATARASHII GAKKO have never done before, and it's like, you know, it's like elevated their musical quality or anything. That's not what this is about. This is a single. And, you know, it's a single from a pop group, you know, who have a bit of a leaning towards minimalist stuff a lot of the time, yeah, production-wise. And so that's kind of what you have as the get-go. That's where you start with this. And when I listen to this song, I hear a song that is true to all of those ATARASHII GAKKO qualities. In that, you know, it goes for like the big hook. It has like a fairly minimalist backing, which is more about being sort of punchy and impactful than it is necessarily sort of laying up some huge arrangement or something like that. That's YOASOBI's territory. Yeah, it's really very much about that, about impact and about just generally sort of hitting you with something that makes you go, wow, in a simple, direct, accessible way. And this is it. This is what the kind of thing you want Atarashi Gakko to do, because it feels fun. The piano line is such a simple thing to put in the middle of a song, and it makes up the majority of what's going on musically, other than the vocals, obviously. And really, it's so engaging. It's such a nice thing. We've heard that in so many songs as well before. You know, it's a pretty cool approach to do with a. It reminded me a little bit of, what was the guy who had that single, like, bills, something about I got bills I need to pay, and that was basically all that production was just like someone playing the piano in the middle, and he just basically talked his way over most of the song, and it was catchy as hell. You know, this is the kind of thing I mean. Sometimes you can have a simple and effective thing, and that little sort of funky piano in the middle, kind of doing like a little bit of a jazzy sort of skip to it, that really gave the song all the vibe it needed. And then they sort of built on that by having a little bit of a gospel style vocal arrangement in the background behind the chorus, which really worked. It was cheerful, it was happy. In the verses, they laid up the vocals nicely by handing it between the various members. And I gotta say, and this is the bit, this is the bit where maybe other Atarashi Gakko fans are maybe not going to agree with this as much, but I think one of the biggest things that I liked about this is that they actually felt like engagingly, like, I liked them in this. I liked them in the video. I liked them in the song, in the same way that I liked them in the video and the song when I first heard of them. They came across engagingly, like, just like sort of people where you're entertained by them. I feel, because I think I'm going to put this video out, so I feel like I'm going to comment on the fact that, yeah, the main song that put me off, and there was a couple after this, but it was mainly Tokyo Calling. I really disliked that song. And one of the reasons is because they just came off as really obnoxious in that. It didn't come across like at all like it wanted to have fun with you. It was like there wasn't anything musically going on. It was just shouted, chanting. It wasn't catchy, wasn't interesting. And the thing that really destroyed it for me is because I know like Atarashi Gakko's whole thing is they go for this somewhat stoic look. You know, it's always like the very sort of like very sort of sudden movements kind of thing, and you've seen them in interviews, you know what I'm talking about. It's all very kind of like playing up to this strangely stoic image, but that always comes with a certain degree of fun, a certain degree of cheekiness, which I think was totally lost in stuff like Tokyo Calling. And, you know, when it has that bit at the end, like, we are marching, it doesn't feel like a call to, like, come with us. It feels more like a oppressive, we are marching, we're going to take over something, but in a negative way. Whereas this song is like, you know, AG, take you higher, or whatever they're saying. And it feels like that. It's like, yes, this is a rally. This is a rally to come and dance with them and sing with them and have fun with them. And like, yes. And I'm not saying that songs have to be happy to be good. Because again, 999, one of the big songs that really got me into Atarashi Gakko. You know, one of the songs that I really liked about by Atarashi Gakko. And that song is not exactly a happy song. It's a pretty negative song. You can do that. It's just, I think you have to, you have to get something. You have to get some sort of emotional thing across. Either you're relating to people on some more intense level, or you're doing something that's going to rally them to be happy. You know, you've got to have some kind of like general feeling that's coming across and that you're conveying in a way that only you can do. And that's what this is. This is that charm. This is that fun. I am talking off the cuff, by the way, so apologies about the fact that this is a bit of a ramble. I came back through this first reactions channel because, you know, I wanted to cover when I do reviews, it takes me a long time to do reviews and script them and everything, and so I wanted like the chance to cover more songs, especially songs like this that maybe if I was only doing scripted reviews I wouldn't have time to dive into. So reactions, people wanted me to come back to doing this, and so I came back to doing it, and I've really enjoyed coming back to do it. But unfortunately the result is that sometimes I'll give reviews that are a bit long and rambling and off the cuff, and they won't necessarily be as maybe as entertaining to listen to. So I hope this has been a reasonable explanation. But yes, I just found this likable. I think it used the members well. I think it used the choral backing vocal. I think it had good fun feeling to it. Is it like a world-changing song? No, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not like we're like the greatest thing ever. But it's got the charm. It's got all the things that I came to Atarashi Gakko for in the first place, and that I'm glad to see back, you know? And yeah, I'm sure there's going to be people telling me, oh, well, actually, if you listen to the album that Tokyo Calling was on, there was also this track, which you really like on it. And maybe that's true, and maybe there's things I need to find out. But this is putting that nice, engaging Atarashi Gakko front and center. It's putting it into a single. Yeah, I like this again. And so, again, thank you very much for watching this, especially if you're an ATARASHII GAKKO fan who, thank you for listening to the thoughts of someone who's been a bit there and back with this group. I really appreciate that. It's really nice to have you in here listening to this. So please get in the comments. Tell me what you think. Press like, be nice to other people in the comments. I'm just rambling now. Until I hopefully see you very soon in Japan for the next one of these. For now. Ciao, ciao.